the positioning of other people's and look to fade them.
What would be a piece of advice you could give yourself when you first started trading?
Um, it would be to learn about how others position and make a strat revolving around that, and then create according to that. If you know how others and big guys could position, then you know who to fade and who to follow, and you just copy trade all the way to success.
Fake it so you make it.
Yes.
Um, so this is like a double question. What would you say was your worst habit when trading when you initially started, and then what would you say would be your worst habit now?
I think it's the same. FOMO would be the worst habit I ever had, and I still have to this day. Sometimes I do feel like I'm missing moves and I'm missing out, and I try to ape in, and that's the only time I go wrong on my trades.
Yeah, I feel like most of the trades that I lose on are pre-confirmed setups that I take that I think like, oh, it's ticking all the boxes so far, but it hasn't hit the full confirmation, and I position too
Yeah,
early and get stopped, or I don't go for fills that I think I can get, which in crypto like 90% of the time you can get the fill. I settle for a subpar fill.
yeah.
How long did it take for you to become profitable?
I think it took me like 6 months when I first started, because I had no idea what trading was. I didn't even know what a trading view chart was. So I had to scrape data from here and there and just put it all together and put a strategy to make my first money. And then after that, the growth was exponential when I discovered order flow and all the rest things.
Uh, why do you think you have success in trading?
I think it's mainly because of the hard work and the time I put in. Yeah, you see me trade 24/7 all day, all week, every single day. You gotta have the momentum to keep trading and mark out where you went wrong, and then be able to correct those mistakes to have maintain and have a good win rate.
Uh, what's the mistake you find hardest to avoid when trading? Is it just FOMO still?
Yeah, it would be FOMO for me. Yeah, to ape in positions, that would be a big minus for me to this day.
Um, Here, let me take a couple of these chat questions. Mickey says, "How did you handle the periods when it just hasn't gone well for you? What would you advise traders are currently in their veil of despair?"
Um, to overlook your trades and understand what went wrong. If you don't have a profitable strat, try different things. I'm gonna be very honest. If you don't have a profitable strat, I recommend you to try different things and then put it all together. Yeah, you have to put all the thinking and all the understanding of markets you have together to come up with an idea or a strat. Or or another way I like is to copy trade and understand what successful traders are doing, and then learn that and then implement that in your trading. I've gone through that many times, and then I look at better traders and I understand what they're doing and then try to implement in my own strat, and it works well.
Um, what what would this is also like another kind of double-edged question. So what would you consider to be the hardest part of a portfolio? So like would it be what's like a good example? Like getting over a plateau or a dry spout and things like that.
Yeah, the hardest part of a portfolio would be when you're initially starting. Like if you get bad trades right from the start, that really does put a bad thinking on you, and you start to lose more and more. And the second point I find hardest when trying to scale up a trading account is when you're at a value of despair and you have to run it up to a certain amount, and you try to FOMO into trades and you try to take more and more trades which end up in losses. That's like something I would want to avoid.
Yeah, I always think one of the best things for people to do when they open a fresh account, especially if they have no previous like trading experience, is if they're up like 1R or something, to usually just close the position, uh, and get like a few wins under their belt before they start getting like more egregious with their take profits and other stuff like that. And I know it is like encouraged to stick to the system, but I think it can be way better for somebody to get a few like cushion points on their P&L, because especially when you first start trading, lots of people trade their P&L and not really the chart. Like that was
Yeah.
something I had a large issue with. I was constantly like looking at my position and seeing whether it was like red or green, and now I frequently like don't look at my positions at all. Um, all right, so let's go ahead and delve into like some of what your system is here. Before we pull up like EXO and other stuff like
Oh,
that to before we go saturating a whole bunch of people. Could you explain what an A plus setup for your system looks like on maybe like price action first, and then we can talk about more like mean reversion EXO stuff.
sure. If you could let me share my screen. Wait.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Let me turn my. There we go.
Wait. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah, so an A plus setup would be usually a sweep of a pivotal low, a swing low or a swing high. Uh, you see a lot of shorts, a lot of positions getting got offside, which I want to fade generally. And after that, you see a simple breaker structure and a retrace. This is like this is what I would assume is an A plus setup to me. Usually with the confirmation of order flow, and then I would target the previous highs, which can be seen in order flow. That is like bit continuation, is what I usually call it. This would be an A plus setup for me. Another type of A plus setup would be for me would be a trend, a small trend continue up, like a small grind up, and I would just position on higher lows uh, for a quick move up. This would be another A plus setup for me. These are the two types of A plus setup on price action which I usually look for.
So actually, dude, there's a question I forgot to ask. Is so like between obviously they're confluent with one another. How many setups do you have in your system? Like, what is there? There's like, well, pretty much for everybody. There's like anywhere from 1 to like 5 setups that most successful traders use. It's like, is there a certain amount of setups that you have for your system?
Yeah, I think I do maybe six to eight that I know of. Yeah, that I trade every single day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the first I told you would be a sweep of a swing high or low. The second would be a break of structure and continuation. The third would be longing or shorting a training move on every single high, low, or lower high.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the third would the third would be too long before a swing low or high is taken. Usually like this. You see these swing lows, and you see me in the Discord like longing with stops below the low, even though which could be SFP, right? So it's usually to catch shorts or longs offside and then play a very small move like this. A move like this, it may be small, but it's worth trading to me. This would be the third setup. Another setup would be rotations on altcoins. Like that, I think these make up like 4 to 5 setups. The rest, 2 to 3 setups would be correlation or decorrelation with the stock market and correlation of BTC and ETH, and then I position afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk more about your exo uh your
Yeah,
exo
sure, we
terms.
can. Yeah, I have like 2 to 3 templates on Oriflow on BTC alone. I don't look much at ETH because if you know what BTC is doing, everything else is likely to follow. Uh, the best kind of setup is a trap of shorts and longs in a short POI. Like this was a long POI. You can see a lot of shorts opening down here, a lot of liquidation of longs here, and as you can see, there's a lot of shorts that enter this place. If price could go above this entry, above the entry of these shorts, then these shorts that enter here are underwater and will likely be in loss, and that such information can be used to fade these people and be possibly used by bigger people to liquidate these people, which will only bring more pump. This is, I'm talking about shorts. It can go vice versa for longs at tops or swing highs. The second setup would be a sweep. Like look at this. There was a low here, and then we swept low. A lot of shorts enter here, and the moment we got a buyback, that was from passive bids. The moment we got a buyback from here, all these shorts are underwater right now and in loss, and which can be used as information to fade these people and liquidate these people, and it happens at every day, every single hour. It's how we trade, it's how the markets work. And this basic information, these are the 2 types of setups I'll look at to trade through Autoflow. Then second template would be this is from Razwan, a good guy. You can follow him on Twitter. It's the same idea here. You see this VWAP. This is the value area low of the daily VWAP, and the moment price came here, you can see a lot of shorts enter here. There's a lot of negative delta right here, which can be faded if there is a quick buyback, and then you see the amount of longs. After these shorts entered, you can see we got a quick buyback up here, and then you can see these blue, these are longs and these are bids. You see the bids coming up. All the shorts are underwater and they are being dragged right up to their liquidations, which can be used as information to fade and trade, right? And then you see this, and then you see a retrace into a stack of bids, and you see a lot of shorts entered here again, and then even they got a quick buyback. Now even these people, everybody short here is underwater and can be used to fade, and we can trade such data information. And this, you can see there's a lot of buyback and bids here, and I think we liquidated a lot of them. We could see that on the open interest. Yeah, a lot of them got destroyed even after here. You can see the drop of open interests here. A lot of shorts got liquidated in this move up. Like a lot of longs got liquidated in this move down. This is the main things I'll look on EXO and order flow. Then there's the TPO. The TPO is a market profile. Similar to a volume profile, you look at values and ranges of a market profile, and the POCs. The POC is where the most amount of volume is traded. These levels are pivotal levels where you can just set bids and price would bounce or reject from them. It's usually because of a lot of orders have been executed here, and there's a lot of positions at who want to get out at break even at such points. So this is a very important pivot on TPO, that is the market profile, and these are the single prints. The blue shade you see here, these are single prints. This is like a wick, or let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, you see this wick on the candle. This is good confirmation of a possible top or a possible bottom. Like you see this wick here, this is a buy tail. This is good confirmation that this was a quick buyback up, and this could be a potential bottom if we could possibly reclaim the today's value area low. This is the value area high, and this is the value area low of a daily profile. If we could reclaim this area, we are likely to traverse to the POC of the day. So these are the main things I look on EXO.
Thank you. I think another because I know you have your tape template out as well for Agar. I see. I feel like a lot of people who don't use ExoFlow are missing out on a lot of opportunity on using
Yeah,
Agar or even Coinalyze. Like I know a lot of people don't use those. I've even seen some people using Exo who have misconceptions on it that, like, for example, on the sweep that you just shared, that there has to be a drastic climb in OI signifying like long positions opening, but
yeah,
that's not always true. Even though these are like contrarian trading styles that you're doing here, where going against the herd, you don't always have to have a massive amount of OI opening up. You just need the shorts to keep their positions open. As long as
yeah,
they're underwater, their closing will make market buys push price up.
yeah, definitely. The main objective of order flow itself is to know how others are positioned and how you could fade them. That is literally the main objective of order flow, and I think it's also the main objective of trading. You just gotta fade those who are caught offside, right?
Hmm.
You just gotta be on the right side.
Yeah, and with enough time, you don't need EXO to do these things.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
these are just like
yeah.
confirmations
I
for
can,
you, but
yeah, I
like,
can, yeah, definitely. I can see this all on price action as well.
mhm. You can see this, and you can also even just get a partial confirmation with the tape. It wouldn't be as
Yeah,
solidified as this, but you could see absorption on CVDs, and you can look at OI on Coinalyze. Like,
definitely. Like this could be a possible setup. If we were to get a buyback here, then this likely to go higher. This could be a possible setup of a long targeting here and here. If we were to break this low, then I would flip short, flip short back to this area. This is how I trade like the 1 minute. And I don't really need like XO anymore for this. I can see this playing on price action.
yeah, I hope we get the second one because
Like,
that's where my
yeah,
bids are.
yeah,
But I think a lot of people also too don't understand the perception of price moving uh, from the sense of like either just value, where the buyers and sellers are settling on a price between a high and a low. Like in this, even this is a range. Like they're trying to come to an agreement here, and the
yeah,
two theses that you just posted are still the same thing. So like if we were to make a higher high, then would buyers be interested in pushing price higher from there? Are they in agreement that it's still undervalued? Or if we were to go
definitely.
to the low, but it's just essentially a series of tests and untested levels, just ping pong.
Yeah.
That was one
And
of
I also, yeah, and
no,
I
go
also
ahead.
use a lot of VWAP in my trading, right? Usually pivotal VWAPs, like I would draw it from a month, the start of a month, like I've drawn it from the start of February. this monthly VWAP. It's good support and resistance, and it determines value. Like this is the value area high of from last month to from this month's current value. Like this is the value area high, and this is the value area low. We're at the middle pivot of it. If we were to accept above it, then we are likely to traverse to the value area high. And if we were to reject off it, then we are likely to traverse to the value area low.
So acceptance on one side and will likely travel to the other.
Yeah, yeah. This is what we call is the basic auction market theory.
hmm Yeah. So would you say you trade a lot of auction market theory on some of your higher time frame thesis?
Yeah,
So with all your criticism on Twitter recently with people speculating on some of your positions, what causes you to pick some of your stops? Is it based off of flow or off of price action?
I'm sorry, cut off. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Uh, I said from all the like recent stigma that you've gotten on Twitter and stuff when you're positioning with some of these like tight stops.
yeah.
Are you positioning based off of price action or off of flow?
I'm positioning based off of order flow. Like you can see these shorts trying to nuke. There's not enough. If we could get a big short and then we could get a quick buyback up, then I would place my stop here below this low,
hmm
and then people, uh, such trades I post, and then people are like, "This is not possible. Like, you cannot trade on such stops. Like, it's stupid." Yeah, you see, you will see price pumping from here, and this would have been a possible trade I would have taken. And then people are gonna be like, no, this is not possible. You cannot do this. And you're in the Discord with me, active all the time. You see me
hmm
executing these steps in real time, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, you've seen me take positions that are questionable based off of flow,
Yeah,
like with some very stupid stops, and sometimes it's just from entering the position off of a bit early. I get confirmation on flow a bit earlier than you would on PA, and then flow lets me know if I can keep
yeah,
my stops there or something else like
definitely.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well, like this setup. Yeah. Did you just see this? It may be small, but I think it's worth explanatory. Did you just see the short here? Stop. I just said here. I will place my stop here and then look for a quick buyback, and that would just lead to more pump.
yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people have misconceptions that that like trades like this can't be taken because oh your stops are too
Yeah,
tight or this or that. And there is
yeah,
drawbacks like
yeah,
slippage and other things
yeah.
like that.
You, definitely. Yeah, you cannot maintain such win rate and all that. I've been told that many times. Yeah,
But yeah, it's just a large misconception. It's the same thing as if somebody was watching a regular price chart and you were to put your stops at a specific area. It's the same thesis.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
If you're shorting into an area where shorters are selling, uh, if that area were to then be surpassed, then it's apparent that shorters are in control of that area at least short term. So your trade is invalidated if you're taking the long side.
yeah,
Same thing. It's the same thing with price. Well, we swept a low and had a break to the high now, and your invalidation is under that low. Well, that means sellers are in
definitely.
control at that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, it's just you could see that a little faster on the order flow, so that helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you're extremely good at price action and have a strat that's working for you, I mean, go for it. Like, If that works for you, then it's great. I think a lot of misconception comes from the ICD traders that think you should just make like 10 hour a month at 10 percentage and you should be happy with that.
Yeah, I
And
had
then they yeah, and then they look at all the moves you could have traded and all the big PNL and they're like, no, this not possible. Like you're definitely lying or some shit.
yeah, I think I don't know. Well, I obviously well, even you may have got like somewhat of an experience in it because even 2020 then was a lot friendlier on Twitter, where everybody on Twitter to some degree was trying to get an edge or some sort of
Yeah, because
advantage over the market from someone else.
yeah, yeah, because everyone had money in 2020.
Yeah.
They lost it all in 2022.
Well, like if you saw somebody on Twitter doing something different and it was yielding results that were extremely efficient, people were not as keen on calling them a LARP. Obviously, there was always LARPs and like other things like that, but there was a lot of good traders that were sharing like actual alpha for free, and people
Yes.
were far more appreciative of it. And now it's a lot of salt and other things like that. If your trading style doesn't fit someone's bias or how they trade or something like that, then it's a phallus. It's
Yeah.
completely farce. Um, So what would be like your main piece of advice for somebody to like get interested and get into order flow?
I think it's a basic skill and it should be learned by everyone who's trading to learn how others position because that is literally how all the markets are made. You position, others position, and then you look to see who's doing better, who's doing bad, who's got offside, and who got the move right. Right? I think it's a basic skill that you should learn if you're into trading. You should know what others are positioned, where they're positioned. You should know your counterparty to be able to fade them or trade with them.
Um yeah, I mean yeah, that's a great way to explain it. Also Sheeny has a whole bunch of stuff in his Discord and can uh answer question on order flow. I think honestly too, uh I think your Discord is like a wonderful resource of just everybody who knows flow. I think the only other Discord I've ever been in that's even remotely similar is to Paragon with Magus and them.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of flow traders in there, but like that's definitely something that's like completely outstanding of your Discord is a lot of people in there have a willingness to answer questions on flow and other things like that. Like I see people in your Discord specifically buying EXO to learn from you guys. Initially they got into, copy trade you and other things like that and get some different understandings. But like I see people like voluntarily going out and buying EXO because they can see that the edge it has over other
yeah,
participants. Flash OG says any free tools similar to EXO. There's Addis. I don't know if
yeah. There's as even even Quant Tower got free order flow. I think you can look up to that as well.
yeah. Quantower has a free TPO, and I think if anybody's not using that, that's like outrageous. That is
Yeah,
completely free to use and accurate market data on whatever exchange you punch in. Sheeny also has a Agar template that that I use, and it's wonderful. I use that, and then I use another one from Rife on Twitter, and those have
yeah,
CVDs for. I use Rifes for ETH, uh, and
yeah,
then
yeah. I would say just use the Augur template to observe tape and flow. Like if price is coming into your POI, you should look at the tape. If there's someone bidding or if there's someone market shorting into that. I think that's great edge to use also. It's the same as order flow. You just see it happening live on.
Yeah, could
Wait, let
you?
me actually put it
I,
up.
I was gonna say, could
Yeah,
you actually pull your tape up and explain
yeah, just
how watching a tape actually works? Because I feel like that's another thing a lot of people don't really explain, other than in like I learned it from Silico with some of the information that he shared on. It was easier to understand on ES because the contracts are whole on that when you're monitoring like mid size, large size, and then what retail orders are.
yeah,
Um, but with BTC, you're watching spot and perp, where you don't really have
yeah.
to do that with ES. Did you trade any other markets before this, or do you trade different markets now?
No, I got into crypto, and I'm still trading crypto. But I do trade. Sometimes I trade forex. Very few times, and I usually always have an outlook on ES and the stock market as well. I think a lot of my edge also comes from having a basic understanding of what the macro is and how the financial situation around the globe looks like. Because the events like FOMC, CPI also have a huge impact on what price does.
Yeah. So like also too when you're trading those markets, are you just speculating short term on the news, or are you looking for like a larger forecast?
Through events like FOMC, CPI, and the rest macro environment, usually looking for a 6 month period of how price may. I'm speculating a 6 month period of how price may act and form. But if you're trying to predict anything above a month, like it's of no use.
Yeah, I'd agree. Honestly, if it's unless it's I think forecasting uh I think forecasting range bound PA is fine if it takes longer than a month, presuming we
Yeah,
remain range bound. But like other than that, like anybody who has a thesis longer than like uh, a month on what price will do is usually just uh, like LARPing. I'd say like 9 times out of 10, honestly. Like a lot of our macro economists on CT are
yeah,
completely full of shit. And
yeah. You can see capo. Yeah,
yeah, they got the general ideology right, and then the continuation
yeah,
just is what made them look like a legend off of something like that. So like the short term monthly forecast was correct, and then uh, that thesis just continued because of just otherworldly events or macroeconomic policy or in anything really.
yeah,
It's all up in the air, like you said, pretty much after about a month of trending markets.
yeah. Wait, let me pull up the Augur template. Just let me know if you can see my screen.
I cannot.
Right. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I just got the stream to pop up. Okay.
Yeah, the main use of Augur would be to watch the tape. This is the tape, the live execution of orders here. This is the spot rates on BTC, and this is the perpetual, the future trades. Uh, you should only focus on these, and then maybe focus on the perp and spot CVD. Usually, there's a confirmation from a divergence between them. Like usually, it's spot selling and then perps buying, and that move is faded after a few hours. You can also look at the delta here, like the negative delta here. There's a lot of shorts entering here, which obviously just got flushed in this move up. These
Yeah.
are the two I mainly look for. The rest, I just look at the order flow to confirm. You don't need to look like 3 to 4 things at a time. Just look at 2 things or maybe one thing and create a strat out of it.
Yeah, when I was because I wasn't I had EXO, but I wasn't super into it until I got into like Silico. I bought a month, didn't really know what I was doing. Used a TPO because I'd used a TPO before, and then I had used a tape a bit on there, like the Dom, and
Yeah.
most of my trading, like you said before, with like copy trading, essentially somebody on Twitter that was better than you.
Yeah.
I'd been trading like in 2018 and like forex and other things like that, and then I found Rec Proof on Twitter, and I pretty much just emulated his system for all of 2020, and even pretty much year to date now, other than a few different things now because I've had time to change the system up and add things like you said. But a, I made free money essentially off of somebody on Twitter that was posting ideas and sharing pretty much every winning trade that they took, and all you had to do was
Yeah.
just look at the candlesticks and copy them when they did the same thing in an area.
Yeah.
And I got a great ROI on that. And there's loads of traders out there. Oh, maybe not as much
Yeah, well,
anymore.
yeah, that even I did that, but that didn't end up good for me. I think I copy traded some trendline trader and got got right.
Yeah, I definitely lucked up on. I had been following Rect on my personal Twitter like even before he started. I was following him when he was posting forex charts a long time ago, and yeah, I definitely got lucky following him. And then he got extremely popular with the Degen challenge thing. But is there any like quote unquote retail ideologies that you use in your system, like support and resistances and things like that?
I don't think, yeah, no, not anymore. Maybe if you want to call the FVG traders, the auto block traders, normie things, then maybe I still use normie things.
Yeah, using the ICT system. Is that predominantly what you use for your price action stuff? Is the ICT ideology?
No, like I said, I trade mostly on order flow. The ICD ideology, it's just a bunch of price action ideology took from here and there, and then rebranded it as ICD things, right?
Mm-hmm. What would you say would be uh like the best advice that you give to somebody for trying to grow a small account or uh, I don't know, just initially, and not to the degree of make it, but actually be able to snowball account into something equitable?
Yeah, I think if you have an account lower than 10K, I think you should go for funded accounts. After you have a profitable strat, you should first, of course, paper trade or trade on small money to actually know that you have a profitable strat and can accumulate some good trades and have a good percentage outcome every week or every month. Then go for funded accounts or start to scale up your own trading account. If you make 1%, then risk more on um, better setups. Risk maybe even 5% to 10% on better setups. Scalping, if you're trading 24/7, I think scalping and dipping into some shitcoins is the only way you can grow a trading account. If you know what shitcoins to wait, yeah, don't aim into the wrong shitcoins.
Yeah, I think rotational alts and scalping, and then like you said, betting more on like higher conviction uh sort of swings, you know, like looser stops, sort of working an area,
Yeah.
kind of positioning is probably the better way. Especially if you have like, I don't know, you could do all those things with like a probably a 3K account, but it would be riskier, but you can definitely see exponential growth with something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, how long have you been using EXO?
Maybe a year, I think around that time span. Generally autoflow around 11 months or more.
Have you always just used EXO?
No, I use Sarah also. I use other platforms as well. I used Quant Tower at some times as well. I just found EXO better because it had the Bybit flow and a bit more specs I wanted, so I'm still using EXO.
Yeah, I also think it's substantially easier to build templates on their
Yeah,
platform.
especially if you're trading BTC and crypto, then you should go for EXO. If you're also looking at stocks and the forex market, then you should go for Sarah.
Did you use Flow when you were trading these your TradFi ideas?
No, I had a good strat around. I still do. I still have a good strat around price action. And then I use that there as well. I think I posted like a swing short on ES the SPX 3 times, and that was the literal Pico top the whole of 2022. On that, I use or a bit of order flow and some macro information on that. But for scalping, I think I don't really need to look at order flow anymore. I can determine that from price action alone. Like if you stare at the screen every single day, every week, that your strat, everything, it just imprints into your brain. I don't even need to draw no lines anymore. It's just I see it and then I take a trade.
Yeah, would you say that's the very best way to uh, improve is to just screen time?
Yes. Yeah, screen time definitely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want to look how to get better, and they don't spend enough screen time, or they want to learn how to scalp, and uh, they go in with their account with too much money, and obviously you're
Yeah.
still risking 1%, but when you lose like 3 or 4 scalps, and you're risking too much, at least too much for your risk tolerance.
Yeah, the revenge trading aspect also destroys you at some point. Like if you're down some money, the revenge trading aspect of trying to make it all back is also very harmful to you and your portfolio.
Yeah, yeah, I think those I think revenge trading, and I think honestly suffering from success too can be two of the most detrimental things to somebody's portfolio.
Yeah.
I've seen too many people get euphoric and either like blow all of their account, a good portion of it, or just give back everything that they just had like not even a week ago.
Yeah.
So do you have any longer term thesis on BTC you want to talk about, or ES even?
Yeah, I do have one on BTC. I think we got rejected from the 2022 yearly revamp. I posted this on 1st of Jan as my higher time frame outlook. I posted around here and I told that if we get acceptance back into the value area here, then we are likely to traverse to the pivotal revamp, and we did. After that, it's still uptrending. We got rejected here. A lot of longs got offside here. If we were to break this low, I think price goes to 17 or 18K, and then just maybe range for till Q3. Same goes for ES. I think it ranges. The best thing to happen to ES would be if it ranges like this till Q3 and Q4. The macro and financial situation of the world still doesn't look so great. So to expect things to go just like this, it would be very stupid because people don't have money to buy eggs. How are the retail gonna buy your Bitcoin at $30,000?
Yeah. So, um, after the range, do you think we get the expansion to the other side of value?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I'm expecting at least a grab of this 34 to 30,000. Like GCR has the same thesis, like these are the lows made and they should hold till the end of year.
Mm-hmm.
If you could like take a trade like this, I think that would work. Or
Yeah, I'd be looking to go risk on again back at the 17K area. Are you like personally like I'm speculating around like election prelims uh is when the markets will get kind of frothy again because of
yeah,
I don't know, the US just doesn't elect presidents during times of financial crisis. They just don't want it to be seen like that. Is
what
there
is your what is your outlook right now? So
I have a pretty similar uh thesis. I mean, here I guess I can talk about actually very very similar. Um, so I I took swing longs here. I bought the Pico bottom pretty much. I bought spot here, and I sold most of my position here. I still have actually I just de-risked the rest of my position last week on the spot account, and then I closed out. And now I have so I'm thinking there's
yeah,
essentially just like two things with the value expansion where we can reject from. I think I'm on the yearly. This should be no. This is the monthly. Um, this yearly month this yearly VWAP will hold, and we will get the expansion not to this high, but here around this 30K sort of area as well, like you. Uh,
yeah,
because I think a lot of market participants will be left offside still. If not, then we will come back down to here, get this, and then on ES, uh, I would look to long positions for something up into here for a swing. I think
yeah,
I think a lot of people are speculating extremely too harsh that we have to go back to COVID lows or anything else like this when we've been stuck in this sort of range here for uh, probably going to be about a year by the time we even get back to this area.
yeah,
So like this is a year's long worth of accumulation. Everybody on BTC was um like mine was my trade was based off of like just the range as well as just everyone's overall sentiment. Like I'd lost a good majority of my money on FTX and took pretty much uh the last of like some of my money. I sold some of my spot silver positions that I'd been gathering for quite a while, and took a large bet on BTC based off of the thesis that everyone was wrong. Like we had so many major black swan events with Luna, FTX, Celsius, even the block was a pretty big deal in my opinion. Yeah, and then we've been pretty much like this for. This was a quarter. This was another 2 months, so pretty much a whole year
Yeah.
we've been range bound, and
Yeah.
it's pretty similar to uh what we had before. It's not gonna show it. I'd have to go to BitMEX, but it's just this long, boring, choppy. Uh,
Yeah, a lot of people quit in that time. Yeah. I personally know a lot of people who quit in that job and then came back just a few weeks ago because they heard of the bump.
yeah, like I'd had family members asking me about like crypto and stuff again after they heard about FTX and like how terrible it was and uh, things like that. And then I had people also asking me about like just like the normie trading and like alts doing like CFX did was like a 10x or something. And like what is this? Just 2 months, a month? Like some of these alts are doing absolutely ridiculous things. Lots of them have pulled 2x's.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people ask which coins to invest, and I just told them you shouldn't be there for targets. You should only be there for rotations. Like this entire pump could retrace in a matter of week or maybe a month. All the money from this goes flows into some other coin. You should just look for rotations. That's it. That's how you're gonna make big on alts. You buy one coin, that coin pumps, and then you move the money out to some other. You don't hold.
Yeah, is that how you obviously I'm not going to get too specific on your pockets, but is that how you generated most of your wealth was from rotations and favorable conditions like that or
Ro from rotations and BTC scalps, yeah.
mhm.
I've been scalping BTC for quite some time now. Every single day, every week. Like it's very readable now for me.
So also too if another kind of two question sort of thing here with so like assuming markets stay in kind of easy mode like this where we're in this uptrending thing again, we're back to up only. Definitely not saying that we are, but would you look to transition to more to like longer term, not longer term, but you know what I mean, just overall rotations from alt to alt and more
Yeah,
kind of swings.
y- yeah, you're asking if I would hold coins if it was a bullish market, like everything would just keep on pumping. That's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would still rotate, to be honest. There's a narrative for every coin. Like there's no real use case of altcoins. Everybody knows that. There's just narrative. Big money flows from one coin to another. And you gotta do the same even in bull markets. Like one coin could pump like 100%. It has to retrace. Somebody has to rotate. Somebody has to take out profits. Somebody has to liquidate. So everything retraces. Like if one coin has pumped 100% and then you wait for a few more months for that to pump to another 100%, you could just in the meantime you could just rotate to some other coin for that 100% pump
Mm-hmm.
instead of waiting all that time. So rotation in alts, rotation in markets is the best way to make big. Scalp, like I said, scalp. The only three ways to grow your account is to scalp one or two specific pairs or rotate into volatile coins or stocks.
Yeah, so could you explain a little bit more or expound a bit more on like a bit of like the scalping things? Like how should newer people get into that who just have like price action um or like a tape or something like that?
If you've learned the right things, if you have a profitable strat, if you don't have a profitable strat, I recommend you keep on learning, and better you try to copy trade and understand the strat of somebody who is making money and has a very definite edge. If you could just copy trade that guy, if you could just steal that edge and implement understand it, I think that would be better. If you once you have an edge, you can like trade one or two pair. I know forex guys who trade for euro only, and they have a great edge in that. They make great money from just scalping euro. I trade BTC every single day. I have an edge there.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have an edge, you can pick one or two set of coins, and then you keep on scalping on them. If you don't have an edge, I recommend you keep on learning or try to copy trade somebody who has. Like you also got a lot of fees while scalping and slippage unless you have the right tools. So if you don't have an edge and you're just getting slipped away, you're gonna lose your account faster than before.
Yeah, I because I used to share a lot of more like M1 trades, kind of stuff similar to like what you did, and then as my account got more equitable, I transitioned back more to like the range based, like longer thesis. So like break back into the range. I just long here for a rotation to either the other side of value or the range high for the equal highs. Um,
Yeah.
and now after this, I'm focused on growing an account again. I think a lot of people, like you said too, with the tools thing. I think it's imperative to have a good exchange um,
Yeah.
that doesn't tax you on a fee or slippage or other things like that.
Yeah.
Because some of these crypto exchanges have really high margin rates when you get slipped on a stop, um, even though their fees may say a certain amount.
Definitely. Yeah. One big example would be Bybit. Yeah. Bybit cuts a lot.
Yeah, they're they can be very very bad about that. But they're fine for obviously like something like this, like getting stopped on a stop that's over like 0.5% is usually fine. You only get slipped a bit. But when you're trying to
Yeah.
take like something like point 0.2 or point 0.3 and your account is leveraged, uh, you will you will get it. So like even in this range, do
Yeah.
you think we traversed to the other side to clean up some of these poor highs?
Yeah, if you could first visit the range. Yeah, I mean if you could reclaim that low of the range
Mm-hmm.
and possibly consolidate there, I think we could, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it should not wait a minute. It should not nuke below 21.3, like that would just break structure on a higher time frame. That would be extremely bearish to me at least.
Yeah, I think if we close like something higher time frame out of here, even like on the 12 hour or like the daily, uh, I think we just get this. I don't
Yeah,
know,
we go
just
yeah,
something
we go
like
back to
this.
18,000, 17,000 if we break that low.
Because I don't think the other low here will hold for now if we reject from here. But if we were
Yeah,
to,
like
if
I said, yeah, this consolidation of 21.3 should hold. If we were to break that, then I'm targeting 17,000, 18,000.
yeah, I plan to block to get some more risk, especially back in BTC and ETH, uh, back in this area at that 17, anywhere from 17 to 19K, I think is a pretty decent buy if you have a longer term thesis.
Yeah, you should buy BTC and ETH only if you have like a seven-figure portfolio. You- if you don't, then I think the best way to grow account is simply rotate into alts or scalp.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I ran up an account pretty good off of just when I was taking the BTC bet. I was taking pretty much the same bet on Sol. Um, uh, from like back here that it was just a range, and I caught like I think it was a 4x or a 3x. I bought like here, a 2x, and then just snowballed it into other alts.
Ulixa's thoughts about cleaning imbalances and pumping from 22.1 POC. Yeah, that's what I've marked and shared. That should be the bottom. If that's not the bottom, then every bull is wrong, and we're going to 17,000.
Wow, this looks terrible. Let me. Oh, I can't see that my XO is running.
Gaspard asked, what did you call rotation? Rotation is simply moving your money from one asset to another asset. In crypto terms, that would be coins.
Yeah, so do you have a specific strategy for that, or do you just follow whatever the hot narrative is on Twitter?
Yeah, I either follow the hard narrative or I have a speculative chart, and I look at the coins which recovered the hardest after a BTC nuke.
Do you do any like fundamental analysis at all, or
No, I
like
don't.
no? Okay.
Maybe follow some narratives from like a bullish on local.
Yeah, like I pretty much the extent of like my fundamental analysis was like looking at anything. Uh was just looking to see if it was like Ponzi tokenomics, pretty much the supply and
Yeah.
a general thesis like you said. I think if we were to resume up only, the easiest way to generate wealth is to just buy whatever the hottest new coin is. So like for example, uh
Yeah, I think a lot of people miss even those coins is because they think that it has pumped a lot and they shouldn't enter, and then it keeps pumping.
yeah, like I would honestly look to probably position in Aptos, at least some. uh, because it's the hot new chain at the moment. That and then
Yeah,
probably Blur, and then obviously I would rotate into other things, but like pretty much the same thing people would say. Especially kind of Blur, because there's nothing better than people selling a mainstream airdrop within the first week, and then when it seems the coin's died, it pumps 1,000% for no reason because they
yeah,
list perps on it or something.
yeah. New Breed asked, do you find some resources coin allies, for example, data to be less accurate than exit charts? No, every single software and site has different. It essentially targets the same data set, but in a different way. Like there's aggregated open interest and CVDs on coin allies, but it's not wrong data. It's just accumulated there, while on EXO it's differentiated to from exchange to exchange. Every software and site is useful, yeah.
Okay, well now I'll just kind of let people uh, bombard you with questions, because that's most of the stuff that I pretty much had to ask you, but we missed some other questions. So
Yeah.
I'll let people go ahead and ask stuff.
Gaspard also asked, can he talk about his execution, especially how he enters and exits his trade? I use in Silico Terminal usually, or you can use Deal Street to spam limit orders and to avoid fees. Like if you trade on market orders, that's gonna cut you a lot of fees. So I try to avoid market orders and market exits, and possibly trade on a better exchange. Bybit cuts a lot of fees. Binance is a better option. With scalping, how do you deal with limit stop losses and price nukes through it without filling? I'm not sure what exchange you trade, but on Binance it's good. You don't get nuked even with a limit.
Do you frequently use limit stops?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I do.
I use markets. I'm too scared of them. But I also don't trade on the world's greatest exchange. So
Can you share about your edge and how you came up with the setup in your Discord instead of just posting 1 minute chart with no explanation, like it's order flow and price action.
New Breed says for your daily scalp, says it always on BTC.
No, it's on ETH as well, and usually when BTC nukes or is at a pivotal area from which it can move a bit, do a bit bigger move, then I try to trade odds with it as well. Usually the top gainers on Binance or the ones with the hottest narrative.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a pretty good one as well. Can you rue some of your best trades in the last week for examples? Do you have your size on your Excel sheet from Follis or?
I didn't update that. I do have his sheet here.
Oh, you haven't been keeping everything on it?
Yeah, I'm focused more on trading.
Yeah.
Even right now, I'm looking at setups.
Yeah, I do that a lot as well. I try and always like log some of like my more convicted trades, but I think logging every single one of your scalps isn't really worth your time because there's no way you're gonna look for all of that
Yeah,
data. I,
I don't journal, like I just look at the P&L. If it's going up, it's good.
I think losing money too is usually good enough for you to remember something when you're scalping, and if not, you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be scalping because
At the end of the day, I do go over my losses if I took on the day, and I try to view what went wrong, and it's usually just me trying to ape or trying to find a bottom or a top. That's where I wrong the most.
yeah, I think it is good to journal some stuff, especially when you're starting. But I think if you're scalping, it would be it's just honestly not worth your time to sit there and try and log every single one of your M1 scalps. I think it's better for you
Yeah,
to write down just what went
yeah,
wrong,
yeah. Just I do that. Yeah,
and then yeah, just
like
keep
if
a
you're
log of that.
yeah, like like if you're trading like 40 to 50 setups a day, and then how are you going to write every single one of them? Like that's you could just look at a P&L, yeah, and then mark out those that went wrong and then learn from that. That's a better way to journal.
Sage Teeny says, "Could you tell us more about tape?" We talked about it earlier in the stream. It's pretty much it's tape's actually pretty simple. I mean, even I could talk about it a bit as well. Was I wish I would have had one up that was up already, so you could see orders. Um, but essentially, just as like a quick sort of like crash course on it, Silico also has a wonderful, wonderful aggregate somewhere through his mounds of schizo shit posting in his Telegram. Um, and yeah, so like what you want to see is you want to look for large orders here because on Sheeny I think he has these filtered to I think plus 50K, right?
Yeah,
On your
around, around there. Yeah.
on his perp tape.
Wait.
So like usually if I'm looking for something like this, I'd look for like aggressive shorts into this and then maybe spot buys on like an SFP or something like that and then really big longs filling as well. And then when these shorts are underwater, when we make a higher low, like we don't have one here, but you'd want to look for when we come back down to here, you'd want to see good absorption. So you'd want to see CBDs make a fresh low, and then as well, you want to just kind of keep. There's no easy way to do it, so you have to keep a mental log of where the large positions open, which is why I think it's better to remember like what happened here and then maybe what happened at the fresh high. So you want to focus on less of the noise in between here. Like you don't really want to watch just the M1. You want to remember more of general areas, like where will larger players defend their positions, or where will they puke their positions to cause some sort of cascade to push price further in a direction. I think a lot of people don't understand how easy it is with flow to forecast where price is likely to move relative to actual PA.
Yeah,
Just based off of like simple logic from anyone from me to Sheeny to any of you guys. If your position is underwater, you're most likely to puke it. Well, if you're a large player, when you puke it, it pushes price in a direction, usually pretty harshly. Also frees up liquidity in the books for other large participants to gang up on the one who's caught offsides on Delta. But yeah, if you go through Silico's thing, there's a guy on there. The guy that I learned from initially was he has a video on, he talks about ES contracts, and that one's pretty good and probably the simplest to understand because it's the contracts are whole. So I think for like his parameters on that, he uses like large orders are like I think 5+ contracts. His mid-size orders were anywhere from like 1 to 3, and then he just watched the tape to see. He had a heat map up to see smaller orders, kind of moving price around. And once retail was satisfied with somewhat of their position and value, you could see where large players move price, and then once those have entered, where they defend a position, where they exit, is there sellers at a certain level. So like how many Sheeny you're talking about right now, is there a lot of sellers when we try to break back into the range? Also, if you don't really understand how limit orders and market orders work, uh, Pulsar on Twitter just wrote a really good thread. Um, really good thread on how perp and spot interact to move price. What's up, JW? See, I keep getting this error. Like the API for Binance keeps dropping on Agar. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, not an issue with me. Maybe we can check it later, update it.
What's the link to his resource thing? Who, for Sheeny or Silico? Silico's is in his Telegram. You just have to find his Telegram. I don't. I'm sure it's on Twitter. It's been like it's been posted. I don't have his thing, but it's been posted on Twitter 100 times. It's probably on one of Insilico's alts. Yeah. Use your scroll on every chart works for me. Just scroll around on one of these. It's pinned on Silico's profile. Okay, thank you, Nick. I think he's private right now though, because people constantly report him for some of his some of his questionable takes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you guys like honestly, like if you guys aren't following like Insilico and Adam posts really good stuff, Abe Trade on Twitter. Who else posts really good? Who else do you? Well, if you're not following Sheeny, like, I don't think you've shared as much flow stuff as you used to, though.
On my Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot of questions.
Oh yeah, Ulix
Yeah,
posts stuff. JW posts stuff. Trying to think who else posts a lot of footprint stuff. Magus does on occasion. He'll post alpha. But yeah, I think there's I think a lot of people misuse Twitter. Like most of my profitability came from Twitter. It's just a matter of sifting out the shit. And there's a lot of shit.
yeah. Like at the start, like you just told when you were starting trading, you copy traded the right guys, and had a good ROI, which didn't happen for me. I copy traded the wrong guys when I started and nuked some of my accounts.
Yeah. I think
If you can, yeah, if you can filter the right people, then I believe, yeah, it's a lot of profitability on Twitter.
oh yeah, C2M, uh Mr. Kilmex, yeah, and Clark. Cantor and Clark. Those are good order flow follows too. Um Motif. Um yeah, and that's pretty much it. Those are probably the majority of people that I would look at. I may be missing like a couple, but that's really what you want. I think a lot of people should focus on trying to get quality on their follows. Oh yeah, but Gian doesn't post as much stuff, but Gian was actually another really good person uh for my trading. A lot of he had a massive a pretty long thread about 8 months ago on mean reversion ideas that really solidified my system for me.
Casper asked, I see Shinny say something on the Discord like you should never exit a long or a short if you have no reason to enter in the opposite trade. So did he finish most of his trades with an edge in the opposite side? Yeah, yeah, I if I'm long from a certain point and I have no reason to short, then I don't close longs. Like if price is pumping and you are long from a low, why would you want to short mid pump? You could just wait for distribution or accumulation and then go short and close a previous position. If you have an edge and you know who to fade and you know who your counterparty is, uh, that's pretty possible. Like you long from the lows and then wait for distribution, which could be at even at a position where you have multiplied your account by multiple X, or even a few dollars, a few $100 above. So if you know your counterparty, you can definitely have the edge of not closing out on your trades soon, and missing out the big move.
I think it was. I can't remember if he was the one who said it or if it was from his list of things that he collected on Twitter that he liked. But Salsa Tequila made a post with lucky entry, likely exit. Uh,
Yeah.
is such a good thesis. I think that was the other thing that I talked about in the beginning with not even just FOMO because I wouldn't, but I'd settle for like subpar fills and like uh looking for like entries that you don't think you can get within reason, which you can be able to verify with time. But like going for entries that you don't think that you can get is usually ones that you can't get in crypto because of how predatory conditions are.
Yeah.
Like even like a year and a half ago when things were up only, like I would have been perfectly content to like long a position like here and I would have been like okay, this is an okay fill. Whereas right now I have bids like here and like this is a whole difference between like 1.5 R.
Yeah.
And if you miss the position, then sure you can take the same. Like if you miss the entry, you can take the same trade here, and you would have the same exact R that you pretty much would have had here, or just a bit less with just more confirmation. Like say once we break back into the range or something like that.
Are you looking for a possible setup around here, Solom?
Yeah, I have bids sitting here. It might be kind of kind of bad here. I'll show what I have set. I'll have to check with the flow and then I'll let me decide if I should puke my position or not. But I'm kind of like uh liking this pretty long wick on the 4 hour, and we still have a couple hours on this.
Yeah, if you could open the 1 minute chart. Escalator asks, Shini, as a scalper, do you ever use limit orders or do you prefer to wait for confirmation and market order in? I use limit orders even when I'm trying to ape in. I still use limit orders. I chase with limits. Or you can use like in Silico Terminal or Deal Street to be able to have that execution.
We may even get a dip to like here, but this is plenty good enough fill for me for. I think if we hold this low, we break back into the range. That's why I have targets on the other side of value here. I think if my bids don't get hit by the daily open as well, I will pull my bids and then look to position after that.
Yeah.
Do you think most people should trade on a terminal?
Yeah, yeah, it lets you execute better than the rest of the exchanges at least. Like you cannot spam or scale in orders on a simple exchange, like Bybit or Binance.
Yeah, you end up like me yesterday with trading on TradingView and
Could you let me share my screen?
yeah, go ahead.
Wait a
Dead volatility Saturday, range and accumulation, pump Sunday, Monday if 23K holds.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I could agree with that. That's why I said I if I will look to cancel my bids if I'm not filled.
yeah. I think Saturday started. I think if you could range still a daily open, then get some bid on daily open. Preferably around here. Put a stop here and then wait for a small pump. And if we are to move like this, then I would short a high here and then back down here. I would choose long and then back up and we range to like Sunday.
Yeah, Sundays these past few weeks especially have been when
Yeah,
most of the movement occurs.
yeah, yeah. This the I'm looking at this 22.999 as a possibly small pump. That could be a 1 to 1 hour or maybe a 2 to 1 hour trade. Then back down here and then continue to range.
I think my current problem is I overthink positions. I will have a good idea and start fighting myself. Um,
Yeah, the overthinking part really gets you. Like if you have a possible setup in the play, you just have to spam orders. If you don't spam orders and if you don't trade that, then you don't have enough confidence to enter the next trade. And then that keeps on going and you run in circles.
Yeah, I think you have to spend enough time. I always think everybody should spend time back testing and front testing, especially with real money. But I think back testing initially first, even with paper money, not like to the extent that make people make it seem. But for you to understand like what you're trading, what you want to see, And like stuff like that is a great way to build confidence, and then start with a small amount of money and just do that for like, especially if you're scalping, you can scalp easily for a month on like $100 account and see exactly what results you're gonna get. And most people,
Yeah.
well, like $100, it's very unlikely that you'll nuke the whole account. But
Yeah.
even if you were to, if you're upset about losing $100 in trading, you probably shouldn't be trading
Yeah.
because you're not gonna have something equitable enough to to trade, because if you're trading a 10K account, 1 hour is $100. Even on a 4K account, $40 is still half of 100, and two
Yeah.
bad trades and you're in the same boat essentially.
Definitely.
And I'd say anywhere from like, I don't know, anything above 3K is probably worth trading, and anything else under, I completely agree with Shinny, and you should go the fronted route. If you trade TradFi, you shouldn't even waste your time unless you're trading like leverage forex positions. Uh, on like trading stuff like that, unless you're risking more, like how we talked about. But like standard 1% risk on like anything less than 3K is, it's not worth your time. You're better off just working a regular job until you have something more equitable.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It might sound a bit harsh, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's the truth though. I think a lot of people, especially with Twitter, has this misconception that you can make it from like $1,000 or something like that. And I mean you can if you're taking stupid amounts of risk, but you don't want
Yeah.
to be doing that in the beginning. It's like something you should be doing after like a years of experience, if you really wanted to, if you had the desire to.
Definitely. I think we should wait for the daily open. Maybe a small move down here. I would like to bid the daily open and then buke that position after a small bump and then position here. Usually volatility dies on Saturday, so I wouldn't be surprised if you just did this.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for. I'm probably about to pull my bids now because it looks like we're just slowly grinding out. We'll probably get another little move back up to the high, for like
Yeah.
some sort of like retest just because of chop, and then yeah, I'm probably gonna cancel my bids
Yeah,
now.
well,
I was kind
yeah.
of hoping for like some whipsaw sort of action here, but
Yeah, yeah, this is the classic setup, like swing low made, the low is taken. We bump back to take the swing high into the FVG. I think it's in the Discord. Let me if I could share that. Yeah, this one.
mhm.
A big liquidation, a big delta, a quick move down, and then we slow grind up into an FVG. Or imbalance single print, and then we come back to take the range low. A lot of positions get caught offside here, and then we pump back up to the previous high, take the previous high out. Uh, a lot of longs enter here, expecting a much further move upside, but they get caught offside when price comes back into the range, and then we're likely to go much lower. Yeah, this is the setup we have right now.
It might be the worst squigglies I think I've ever seen you draw. Usually your lines are like superb for your for the range image you had. I never even realized that.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, look at that.
yeah,
That looks so much better than the other one. But yeah, this is. I mean, this is like the three tap thing.
oh yeah.
This was my whole
Yeah, I wanted
system.
to, yeah, I wanted to short here. I think Razwan in the chat did short here. Wait. Yeah, they did short here.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, well,
Oh shit! I just got filled. Nice. Why is my TP and stop loss not working? It's the sound of me getting filled on TradingView. We should see like either some bounce like here or at the other low, like how you said, and then I'll just probably cover the position there. I don't really want to leave this thing open until the daily open. I don't know why my stop losses and TPs never set on this, but it is very, very scary. Let's put a TP there for now. Is it because I'm connected to TradingView? Lesson learned.
Wait, yeah, you're trading on TradingView?
I was yesterday, but I've learned that I'm never going to do that again. I think we talked about this yesterday. How I was in a position and my stops and TP didn't set, so I set stop limit orders. And then when price returned to my entry, it doubled down on my position. Why is my It's pretty good, Amin, when you can get your stop losses and TPs to work. What does XBT mean? Felix, you have to be joking, man. It's BTC's ticker. Here, let me do this so you guys can watch this while I try and figure out how to set a TP and a stop loss.
Wait, you're trading on OKX?
Yeah, yeah.
How's that exchange so far?
It's good when the the take profits and the stop loss want to work. Their like advanced limit order or whatever just doesn't ever want to work. BitMEX was the greatest exchange to ever exist. They had the best bills that you could ever ask for. Oh, lesson learned. Okay. Learn something new. All the homies are subbing? Thank you guys for the subs. Yeah, do you trade on Bybit currently, Sheeny?
I did, yeah. I just moved yesterday. I talked about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. You just got approved for a Nance account, didn't you?
I already had a Nuts account, yeah.
Wait, why were you trading on Bybit then? For oh, okay, okay. I understand, I understand. I'm not changing my borders to black, Razvan. Just guys, I just want to let you guys know that my TP just got front rammed by literally like I don't even know, like 10 cents. Because I was gonna wait till the daily open. How long do we have? Well, hours.
Wait, what was your TP?
It was literally gonna be right here because I was just gonna close for fees, so I could, so I could wait till the
Wait,
daily
could
open.
you could you show me?
Here, I'll just draw it here instead of so I don't have to drag the other screen over. This was literally my TP, just so I could exit for fees. And it missed it by, I don't know, like $3.
Yeah, that might have been me. Go ch go check the Discord.
You guys really trying to run my stops right now?
A little lower. Yeah. A bit higher.
Yeah,
Scroll a
yeah,
bit
let's see
higher.
this.
Yeah, I just yeah, that's short.
You trying to run my stops right now, Sheeny? Bro, really front ran my TP by like $4.
Intense PvP.
Thoughts on Binance liquidating the Aussies? Yeah, that was really shitty.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna compensate them.
Yeah, I should have a YouTube video up by this probably by the end of this week in Kapow. I'll have to edit some of this because now we're just kind of hanging out. I'll have to actually get the alpha, cut out some of the noise, but is there a way to see how much percent we move need for fee coverage? Most of the exchanges will show you how much it costs to open a position and how much to close. So once you've been trading pretty much like the same, once you've been trading long enough to, most of the time you can figure out these sizes uh, yourself or roughly like what they are, and a move like this was enough to cover my fees, especially on a limit exit. But Sheeny's gonna run my stops now. Binance doesn't
I'm
show.
actually
There's a way to show it, I believe, on Nance. What were you gonna say, Sheeny?
yeah, I was saying I'm expecting more rain, so I think you may have the time to get out.
Yeah, I am as well. I don't. I honestly don't think they'll run my stop. Actually, let me see where these bids are that Razvan posted. My stops may be in the bids. Yeah, they are. Okay, maybe I'll just close on a market order and say fuck it. Just so I'll be so pissed. I'll just long the bids instead. I'm gonna close that. I'll just take the bite on fees.
How much is the fee on it?
I don't know. Actually, let me just get out on a market. I mean, on a limit. Never mind. I can't drag. Oh, with their UI. Okay, I need to get on Teal Street.
Lose money is content.
Yeah, literally. Okay, we closed.
I think you could have gotten a better price, but
Probably. But I'm not gonna like, I don't know. I just don't want to fuck off and then come back and my stops are ran on bids. Let's see. Um I didn't lose very much at all actually. You lost like
Uh,
$4.
yeah. So is this live recording, Solom?
uh, yeah, no. So I'll download the VOD after this goes up.
Oh, okay.
But the VOD will be up immediately after this. So like as soon as the stream
Yeah.
ends, this video will be up for 14 days, and then it'll be up to YouTube before the 14 days ends as well.
Great. Wait, if you could let me share my screen, wait.
Go ahead. Yeah, we can talk. I'll edit this. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, this should be your entry. What was your entry? 2023,
uh
100?
yeah, something like that. That's what I had. I think I had my bid setting set. Let me look. I could just show that this is the 4K account, so I don't care. It doesn't have like any of my personal. Um,
Yeah, yeah, if you could, yeah, if we could like reclaim this level, then I think it goes higher, but I'm probably expecting it to go lower from here, then get a bit here, and then continue up. That's what I think I shared that.
yeah, that makes sense on the
Yeah,
imbalances. Yeah, that looks good into that FVG as
yeah,
well. Yeah, I probably could have got out, but I think I'd rather just try and get the better long, honestly, as well. Either that or the bids that Razvan has set, but also those could get front ran and they could just be a wall.
yeah. Yeah, I think you gotta go to entry if if this could break up.
The bids, honestly, bids like that though, when they get stuffed there at the wick, scare me. Just because of where I have my stops, I could have extended my stops, but like I'd rather um what do you call it? Wait to see if that, or if we just make a higher high. Ulix is long.
Yeah.
I puked, so everybody's gonna long now. I'll just re-enter on
Well,
more
look, yeah.
confirmation.
I don't think I don't think a lot of people are trading this,
Yeah, no, it looks really choppy, and
you know.
I'd rather wait for like something to solidify. Even now, if we were to break this high, I still probably wouldn't long. I'd rather wait for the daily open. We do a little PvP in. You didn't ping me at the setup, Ulix. You're supposed to confirm my long. Not FUD me out of my positions. Think they will break the low again? Nah, probably not. But Razvan says there's bids posted here, and sometimes people will. Actually, let me just show it from Sheenie's. Everybody's longing. But yeah, there's bids here, like halfway through the wick here on Tensor that you can see, and sometimes these will get hit. These will sometimes get wicked into. Can I check my Discord? Yeah, this is a trade I would take. This is usually bids I'd have set. I'm just waiting for the daily open.
Yeah, yeah, Ulix is long, Razvan is short. Yeah, we're targeting each other's stops.
Literally, I was gonna say shit. It was me. Well, it was all of you versus me, and then
Yeah.
now Ulix joined me when I puked my position, and now everybody's just trying to hunt each other's stops. It's funny that like all of it is just the same thesis. It's all just range bound PA, and we're all just like, but we're all just trying to think on which side it's gonna go to. Like it should go further for now. Honestly,
Yeah.
you guys are right.
Yeah,
It should go
yeah, we
lower.
should. Yeah, this should be a lesson. We should all lose money together.
Yeah.
Yeah, run the short stops, then run the longs.
And the funny thing is too, like both of us could honestly get fucked because of because of the open. What should go lower? We're talking like ultra low time frame here. Why say like we're
Yeah,
watching the M1. If honestly, there's if you guys want to like where's my chart now? Like I think like I definitely shouldn't have puked this, but it's probably just gonna come up here, retest, chop back down, or come up, sweep, or do whatever. Bullshit, continue down. It's just gonna be really fucky more than likely, especially with the weekend. If this was like during
yeah.
the trading week too, I definitely would have held this for more than fees because it would have came back here because people would short into this.
Where you puked the bottom?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I puked. Well, no, I puked like here. I puked the
Okay.
retest of this. I didn't puke the. I would have been actually kind of upset then, but no, I lost like $4 with fees and P&L. Pumped to 25K without retrace. That's literally like my thought though. Like if we come to here, this low should hold, and if it doesn't, then obviously we'll have a short for lower. At least like Shini's kind of saying, like level to level here, back down to this low should really hold. Otherwise, we'll go to 17K. But like somewhere in this area, you
Yeah.
could short back to probably. I'd feel comfortable shorting at least back to like 22 430 or something like that on like a lake cascade. Um, but like longing like in this area, if we don't chop for something for a move, at least back up into this general area is very good.
I think
Which
we'll have to reclaim the range low for that first.
oh yeah,
We're
yeah.
not there yet.
Yeah, no. This would just be a good entry. Like if this low holds, this is a good entry to hold to here, and if we break through this, you definitely hold to
Yeah.
higher prices to at least here. Listening to you is making me confused now. What's so confusing? Later, Razvan. Can I repeat? I just said later, man. Enjoy League. I also think though too, if we range here like all weekend and don't do anything on Sunday, by the time equity's open, we'll run this low again.
I think the best scenario would be like if we just range within $100, chop entire Saturday, and then get a bump during Sunday, and that bump would be faded before Monday market open. That would be the ideal case scenario in my opinion. Simply put, as long as we don't accept back into the range value low of the hourly range, I don't think we go.
I should have took the long like this too, like you said, for at least just a retest back up in the year. Does anybody else have any more questions for Sheeny?
Sini, do you know Kingfisher? I know the platform, yeah. I think they follow me as well. Yeah. Yeah, they have good liquidation maps, heat maps and all that. So it should be a short here, Solom. If you could put your stop above that previous high, it should be a good short.
Yeah, take something like this.
Yeah.
I don't have my terminal up. There's no way I'll be able. It'll take me 10 minutes to get everything typed out. Actually, let me see if I have it connected. Yeah, my screen, because I have my personal on my terminal. Also, don't have. I guarantee you, I don't have hotkeys bound for. Oh, I do have this set up though. Just smash market? No, that's not worth it. I never use market orders. The only time I ever used market orders before was when I was trading actual money size. It's because I was trying to push price into other people. What would be the ask on this? Isn't there?
Yeah, the TP should be a little higher, but above that low, and if there's no reaction there, then you saw me post a long setup. I think we pump from there, the 22.999.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get filled in time for this, so I'll just wait for lower. But yeah, like you said, if we get like a sweep of this, then I'll just re-enter my long. It's no big deal at all. I'll be able to run tighter stops too once I see what happens down here, rather than
But
just
yeah, yes, daily opens in like 2 hours, an hour,
yeah.
30 minutes. I think we chop into this till then.
See my TP, they got front ran would have been filled though. But yeah, I could see something like this, like what you, oops, kind of like uh this either here or here. Maybe a little this because of the bids that Razvan has. If they're there, if the people there are actually determined to fill those, or and if they're not just a bid wall.
Yeah, we could bait some shorts here.
Yeah.
That could be a good setup. But such setups don't have a really bigger TP or a good follow up after that. That's like a small move to just take the one Scott offside out.
Yeah, you'd probably get something like from here to like uh probably here, back up into this. Or whatever low forms here or high forms here.
Yeah, wait, let me see if I can share that. We took some bait setups.
Let me show so people can see what we're talking about at least. Everybody's gambling,
Yeah.
betting on the league games. Um, Did you post them in crypto or no?
Yeah, but I think it's a long chat. Wait, let me just pull it up.
I reckon I probably could have just typed in your name too. That would have been a smarter thing to do. Does I haven't do you use teal at all or no?
Teal Street.
Yeah.
No, I'm better off on Silicon.
I was wondering if they had the let me see.
If you could let me share my screen, I could
Yeah, yeah.
share the setup. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this was a setup around here. This was the low. We bumped from here. We didn't take this low. A lot of shorts were caught offside. This is the low. This one.
Mm-hmm.
There was a low here and it should have been taken, but you see a lot of shorts aped here trying to break that low and were eventually caught offside. When price came above this, a lot of them were just underwater and had to be faded. I think this was CPI here.
Yeah, it
This
was.
this instant move up, and then you could see we got a slow continued trend up, and we got fade every single one of the shorts here, and then another move. I think we traded this move, traded a few of these moves. Yeah, this one I think. Yeah, I posted about it yesterday. The long. Uh, the basic main reason was that there was a lot of shorts aping into here, a lot of OI just going up, trying to nuke these two lows, expecting a real big breakdown, which it eventually happens afterwards. You just gotta be able to short the breakdown, not before the breakdown, because you could be caught offside if somebody with big size notices you on the flow, and that eventually got faded. And to this we really moved up to this pivot, but we could not get a reclaim uh, back above this level. If we could have just
Yeah,
accumulated above this and moved up to here, then we should have aimed for these highs, but we didn't, and we just continued to chop to oblivious. I think I posted about it on Twitter. Right, let me see.
I think there was a lot of stuff overlapping there too for like a good level to flip. It was like
Yeah,
range POC, weekly open, other side of value on the VWAP. There was a lot of good stuff there for like a
yeah,
confirmation long or a short.
yeah, good amount of shorts. Yeah, it was a bottom, and I think we traded it. Yeah, it was simply the reason that there was a lot of shorts trying to break down the lows, and then we got them offside, and that was a good move to trade. After that, it just chopped. It's one of my this is to observe such positions and to fade them before the low is taken is also one of my setups. I think we discussed it at the start of the live.
Mm. Where can I learn
Yeah.
about how to use this VWAP? Never used it. A lot of the auction market uh, principles can be used as the um, the same sort of ideologies as VWAPs. They're like rolling
Yeah.
value areas. Yeah, this is pretty. This is a
Yeah,
better
sure.
trade.
Yeah, yeah.
Clear.
If we don't break this and then we get a move up, if you don't break this, if you do break this, then it definitely moves up. If you don't, then I'm expecting a move like this to come here and then we go back up, then trade a small bounce and then look at what happens afterwards. Like this is how I plan most of my scalps.
Yeah. Especially on the daily up. If we got into that low there on the daily open, I would definitely look for like a sweep or just a straight up bid for a really easy
Yeah.
scalp. I think a lot of people don't understand that there's like, I hate to sound cringe to say this, but there's so much free money to be made on the daily open a lot of the time by just watching the tape. Toxicity was fairly high on the last low. Isn't a new low incoming here? I don't know what toxicity is, brother.
I'm not sure what low you're talking about. Shini, why are you watching that gap a little lower? What is their imbalance? I think I just a few minutes ago I showed that there was a stack of bids there on the order flow. That's why I'm looking to long there.
Yeah, so even too, I know we talked about this earlier as well with like the ICT fair value gap, uh, normie ideology. So like in crypto, lots of like imbalances are created, especially on the lower time frame, and using flow actually lets you figure out which ones are the actual imbalance itself, because you can see like what positions were open there and things like that, like where you would actually want to uh, participate instead of rather than just see, oh, fair value gap, this will get filled. Whereas if the imbalance, like like say there was lots of bids here, I wasn't looking at flow like this, but when I entered my position here, all we could have got was this one because say people just wanted to defend their position here. Like say they were really mean reverting and they don't want these people to be able to puke. So they will push price
Yeah.
away really hard here. So this would be the good place to bid. Whereas now obviously that we have different conditions, and even this level gave some sort of reaction. I just didn't hold all the way through like how I thought it would go to here. I just wasn't patient. Um, but like you can see, Sheeny says there's stacked imbalances here, and there's bids pretty much here under this low for the wick. So you have two things. Like you can, well, actually three things really. We can watch here, like Sheeny says, for a short bounce. This level should give another reaction as well, at least to something back up into like here, because it looks like this low is giving nothing. So we should see something here for a move back up into this area. At least some sort of retest,
Yeah.
because price moves in waves because we're just ranging here. We've been like this since this morning. Um, yeah, or we'll sweep this low and bait shorts, or we'll come down here and sweep this low and hit the bids that are here. If these bids
Yeah.
are hit and we see a real reaction, actually, that's probably when you want to aim for somewhat of a larger move. It's like it's the same as price action though too. It's just context and being able to see what's actually there
Yeah.
rather than just candlesticks.
Chris probably asked, toxicity was fairly high on the last low. Isn't a new low incoming on the screen? I can't copy an image directly. This is a screenshot. Toxicity here is defined as informed overflow compared to a bucket of time. I can't really load your screenshot. I opened the link, but I can't load your screenshot. So I'm not
Oh, I
sure
can
what
see
low
it.
you're talking about.
It loaded for me. I don't understand what this data is though. Later, Ulix. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's uh like what metric it is. If it's perps, positions opening with like OI, spot data.
I don't use Kingfisher a lot, but they got good liquidation maps.
Oh well, that's just spoofing orders, brother. I don't.
Yeah, he's talking about toxic flow. Okay, yeah.
I see what you're. I didn't know they had an indicator for that. Yeah, no. I understand now. I just didn't know there was proper indicators for it. Usually, you would just look at the book and the book and then what's actually indicated in a footprint. At least that's how I would. It's kind of cool that they have that. Yeah, I don't think you use. Do you use that at all, Sheeny, or no?
I mean, we can see the toxic order flow on the
Yeah.
toxic flow on order flow and simple basic OA and CVD metrics.
Yeah.
I don't use other type of programs for that.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, if you don't have any more questions, I think we wrap up.
It sounds fine to me. I don't think we have any more. Um, yeah, make sure you guys. Let me get your Twitter really quick. I'm sure most of the people here are probably from Twitter or the Discords that I was in. But if you guys aren't following Sheeny, you need to be. I really appreciate Sheeny coming here. He also has Discord here. I'll plug this into as well. It is paid, um, but I promise you that whatever whatever value is provided in there is 10 times whatever your expectancy even is. So like there is so much good information in there. There's a lot of intelligent people in there. There's a lot of very helpful people in there. I post a lot of the trades I take in there. Sheedy posts pretty much all of his trades in there. Everybody does, to be honest. A lot of people share their trades like the moment if they're setting limits or almost directly after they get a fill. So like if you're interested in learning while actually uh, copy trading, most of the benefit isn't from copy trading; it's from the education that's actually in there. Because it's just a good way to compress time on screen when somebody can immediately explain to what's happening. There's a massive edge in moving your learning curve down there in joining. Yeah, and I mean that's pretty much it. I really appreciate you sitting
Yeah.
here and talking to me for almost 2.5 hours now, Sheeny. So
I appreciate you as well. I think we hit the TP on the shore.
did we? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably a good place.
Yeah, we should get a retrace from a little bit up to 23,100 and then back down. Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, we should move back up into there. Maybe even, yeah, probably 23,100. That looks right. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out,
All right.
and enjoy the rest of your day.